Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, what we got to do today is get this starter out of here. It's going to have to be rebuilt. I'm sure there's no telling what's inside of it. So we're going to get these wires off first, get everything disconnected. I'll probably run all new wires anyways, especially like this one. It's the main power going through the amp meter gauge. That's definitely got to go. But I'm going to get these things off of here, get this starter out, and we'll see what kind of shape it's in. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start scraping all this old grease and motor oil and crap that's been caked up on it for years out of here. And let's see, we got 1, 2. It looks like just the 3 bolts that holds the starter in. So let's get some wrenches and get after it. All right. Yeah, the other day I bought a brand new 6-volt battery and just quickly hooked it up, made sure there was no fire or anything like that. Nothing smoking, but it just clicked. It never tried to start. So I'm sure it's probably way beyond the need of being rebuilt. I think that's going to be a 3/8 down there. Normally I'd spray these connections down with WD-40 or PB Blaster or something, these nuts, but on this stuff here, they may look bad, but usually they come right off, and they're not. I mean, if it was even in the realm of cross-threading, I'd go ahead and lube them up real good. Plus, chances are they're going to have to replace the solenoid for sure. I see no reason. I doubt if they can rebuild that. Problem's going to be with it being a 6-volt solenoid. Well, I say that. Nowadays you can get anything off of Amazon or eBay. I mean, worst case scenario, I could probably buy all the stuff and rebuild the starter myself. But I've got a guy that I use for my starters, and he's pretty reasonable. It just sucks having to wait, because then it puts off me actually being able to spin these things over and try to get them to run, which I always get excited about. All right. Got them off. I'm going to save all them. I don't know if we'll ever even use them or not, but we're going to save them anyways. And I'm sure some of y'all know this trick, but for those of you that don't, and they probably don't even need it on this, but if you need a little extra leverage, put that in there. Well, let's see. Need a little bit bigger wrench. I usually like to get 2 about the same length. See how that fits in there, and then there you go, you get a little more leverage. So we'll do the same thing on this bolt. probably the original starter. It's probably never been rebuilt or anything. Ooh, that one's already kind of loose. That one's also the oiliest, so that don't surprise me. And what I'll do is when I get the starter out, I'm going to try to put the same bolts back in the same holes. I'm sure they're probably all the same lengths, but this is where I need my ratchet wrench. I think I got it, but get down in there with your fingers. There we go. Looks like the only thing holding it on now, unless there's a fourth bolt. Yep. Nope, that's a crankshaft or bell housing bolt. Alright. Looks like the only thing holding it in is just all the crud. Let me go get a pry bar. Or in this case, a super long extension. Move some of these tools so they don't end up on the ground. Yep, there we go. It was just the crud holding it together. Oh. Yeah, she don't want to turn very good. Yeah, let's get a rag first. Get the old crescent wrench on it. There we go. Alright. Now, before we go too far, I'm going to go grab that battery and some jumper cables and see if we can't make this thing function just like it is. Alright, we're going to take this over to the truck. Get the jumper cables up to it, the starter button, and see if we can make it spin over. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Atwood's, our local Atwood's here, should start giving me a discount on batteries. I just bought those two this morning for the 550 and it's toast. Engine's locked up. That was kind of a... I was working on it for a friend of mine, and he's actually a customer too, building some fence for him, and he's like, hey, you know how to work on diesels? Yeah. I got this truck, it just shut down going down the road. I'm like, all right. Well, for some reason, they drained the oil. I have no clue why, but when they did, these guys literally didn't know what they were doing. Instead of pulling the drain plug, they pulled the oil pan bolts, then shoved a pry bar, screwdriver, something, and bent the oil pan down without taking all the bolts out. Bent the oil pan where even when it was bolted back up, it still leaked. Lost the bolts. I had to go buy bolts today, and $80 worth of diesel engine oil. Found the leak, went and bought the bolts, got it put back on. I had to beat the dent out, get it to where it would halfway seal again. It was still dripping. It needs the pan completely taken off and put on a level surface and smashed back where it don't leak and reseal it. But anyways, I thought, well, it's in the safe zone on the oil fill. I'll put the new batteries on it, which I went and bought. There's over $200 worth of batteries for it. Hell, I think this 6 volt was right at $100 for the BF Avery. Anyway, they put everything on and just clink, clink, clink. I mean, she's shut down. I can't even get the engine to turn over on the balancer or nothing. So I don't know if they drained the oil trying to hide it. Maybe it was low on oil, and they're like, well, we'll just make it look like it leaked out. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. All I know is the engine is gone. So I sent the customer a text and let him know, and he's like, LS swap? And I'm like, well, it'd be different. I mean, it could be done. I don't know if I want to, because I'm not sure if I even have that kind of time. But anyways, I usually buy, well, let's see, I bought one for the van, I bought one for this tractor, bought one for that truck, bought one for the tractor, bought one for the two for the 550. And that's just the stuff I have here now. I mean, I buy a lot of batteries. But with this old stuff, that's usually one of the first things you gotta have is a way to turn it over. So without the battery, you're not gonna know anything else. Okay, set our starter button up. Yeah, that's, I bet as hard as that is to turn over, I bet the brushes and stuff are disgusting. So let's take this cover off and get into where the brushes are and just see how bad that is. Scrape some of this. Yep. I don't know if you can see down in there, but hang on, let me get this. See the surface where them brushes wear? That is disgusting. Alright, so brushes are pretty worn down. I think they'll work though. So let's get the old carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner. And the crescent wrench. See if we can't clean them up a little bit. Oh yeah, I can see some copper now. Alright. Now let's see if we can start a fire. Set power back up to it. do this then. Oh yes, it turns over. It is slow. Now we're going to get it. Alright, let's pause that. I'm gonna go get oh wow, she got a lot of play. Stuff, even though the starter itself is completely full of flammable stuff. Unhook that, unhook that, got that on there, that on there. Sound bad. So we're gonna go put it on the old tractor. Remember, the greasy one went in the bottom. The next to the greasiest one went in here. And then the driest one went in top. Yep, I got a Red Bull oil cap. So, just put all them back on and tighten them. This time I got my ratcheting 9/16. Speed up the process a little bit. And I still have the spark plugs out. Cylinders have got lube in them. So we'll be fine there. Still gonna take that wheel off on the right hand side. Oh, now get off of there. And hope the spindle ain't destroyed, as bad as that is. I think it's just the bearings themselves gone. I also hope the hub ain't bad. May not ever find one of them. Unless, let's see, it's a 4-lug. Unless it just happens to take the same stuff as like them little 4-hole trailer hubs. In that case, I'll be alright. Alright. Starter bolts are in and tight. Now, let's go get the jumper cables in the factory. I'm just going to put the battery on the ground. Then unhook the battery. Hook that up. Where's a good ground? That's a good ground. And here we go. And nope. Yeah, she just ain't got the power to turn the engine over. Alright. So, we'll get this cover off, make sure it didn't stick again. Well, it wasn't stuck before. I was able to turn it over. Generator stuck though. I need to unhook that generator, or see if I can't. Well, it ain't even got the bolt in the top side. Let's just loosen these off and see if we can't get the belt to come off. I still don't think the starter's going to do it, but you never know. Nope. No. Okay, well, gonna have to come back out, which I kind of had that feeling anyway, so it ain't that big a deal. And it's only 3 bolts, so it is what it is. Battery down in a battery tray, and pull the starter back out. I am going to ask him though about converting this thing to 12 volt. See what it costs as opposed to rebuilding the 6 volt. And I just have a 6 volt battery that literally fits nothing else on the property. I'll leave it 6 volt. Save the battery from just being wasted, and it'll keep this thing as original as it can be. And then we're about to call it a night. It's getting late. It's 6:30. I haven't had supper yet. Had Taco Bell for lunch after the soccer game, so that was like not eating at all. Now, I don't know where all that oil came from, but that's not a good sign. Unless this thing has a rear main that's completely toast. Could have swore I already drained the oil out of this thing. Maybe not. Unless that's just all the junk that was in the starter. I don't think so though. I think that was actual motor oil. Pretty sure of it. Yeah, because my oil bucket's full and I'm pretty sure that's what we drained out of this thing. Oh well. I didn't think I put that much crud in the cylinders, but maybe I did. Ouch. Or maybe I was thinking about something else. I've drained the oil out of so much stuff lately. There ain't much coming out of it. At least this thing does have an oil pump. Yeah, the pan's empty. That's just residual crap I put in the cylinders. But I don't understand why there's so much oil in here. Unless it is leaking out the rear main and it's just filling up the bell housing, which is a pretty good possibility. Alright. We got that drained. And the reason I know it's pressure lubed is because it is. Actually, there's the oil pressure line, filter housing, and line going to the oil pressure gauge, which is what's left of it right here. No oil pressure, lots of oil pressure. Look at that old needle. That's cool. I wish I had that gauge working. Let's look at the points. I hadn't even looked at that. And I think, come on. There we go. This setup looks awful familiar. Somebody's cleaned this in the past. You can see the scratch marks on the rotor. It's a Hercules engine in this thing. Well, sorry guys. We're right back over where he was. Ooh. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Well, come on out of there. Can't pry on that because I'm pushing down on the part that needs to come out at the same time. Where is the channel lock? Something's not big enough. Ouch, ouch. There we go. Well, they look pretty bad, but then again, they don't. I mean, it's really clean in there compared to most. I think a little points file on there should be good to go. Now the part that's going to be, oof, yeah. And I think I actually have this cap, the points. I'm not sure about the rotor. I'll bet you this Hercules engine uses a lot of the same ignition parts as other engines. If you guys have a clue about that, leave me a comment below. But just from the looks of it, that ain't the first one. This is the first Hercules engine I've ever messed with. But that definitely ain't the first distributor I've seen like that. And what in the world is going on here? Is that thing been helicoiled or something? Can y'all see that? There's a notch. Like the cast iron's broke. Anyways. Well, I think that's going to be it for today, because I don't have access to the starter shop. I don't have access to a starter, and there ain't really much else I can do without that. So with that being said, guys, we're going to call it for the day. Part 2, or part 1.25, I guess you could say. Hang on. Got a little brake clean or something on, probably oil on the lens. We're going to call that it for the day. We know we got to have a starter. We're going to have that generator. But I'll tell you what, while we're here, let's just go ahead and pull that generator off. I'm going to put these bolts back where they go for the starter so we don't lose them. There's that. And that. And that one. Let's get these bolts out. Get the generator off. Because I'm just as well to take it in and have it rebuilt too. You know it's going to need it. Good old long-winded, fine-threaded bolts. But they're sure good for getting a grip on something. I don't know, a lot of people don't understand that, but if you put a fine-thread bolt on something and torque it down, it's more likely to hold than with a coarse thread bolt. I don't know. I just said that. Makes sense though. And if you know the answer to that, or if I'm lying, or if that's truthful, leave that in the comments below. And by the way, it is Saturday evening. It's 6:39 right now. By the time I go in, ouch, pinched. By the time I go in and do the editing and upload this, it may either be on YouTube later on this evening, but more than likely it won't be on until in the morning. My computer takes forever to upload stuff. Maybe if I get monetized, well, not maybe, if I get monetized, I'm definitely going to get a better computer. This is a little faster, so my upload times aren't so slow. There's times where it runs all night long, and then I wake up in the morning and it's finally at like 97, 98% uploaded. So videos that I upload on Saturday evening, sometimes Saturday afternoon, depending on how long they are, they're not on YouTube actually until Sunday morning. And I even had one, I think it was like an hour-and-a-half video, I'm not sure. It wasn't up until Sunday evening. So, bear with me on my videos. This is still a work in progress for me. Still learning the editing and what music and sounds I can use, what ones I can't without getting copyright claims. And so far, with the software I'm using, it's I actually have, you know, what's free and what's not and all that good stuff. So that helps for dummies like me that don't know what I'm doing. Oh, don't, yeah, you're gonna twist off. Oh, this is kind of overkill, but we're gonna try it. Oh yeah, that worked. Oh no, it didn't. Or did it? Yeah, it's turning the nut. I thought it was turning the whole stud. I'm like, that's not good. Alright. Now maybe? Yeah. One thing, if I do get this thing running, I'm going to have to run it, drain the oil, run it again. I'm probably going to have to drain the oil 2 or 3 times to get all the crud out of the oil pan and the oil galleries and everything else. Oil galleries. There's something else for y'all to put in the comments. Y'all need to leave more comments. I just get a few comments every now and then. Sometimes they're from other countries, and Sometimes they're from here in the States, but I don't get many comments. Yeah, where's my brake screwdriver? I need to take a picture of that right now with my phone. So that I don't hook this stuff up wrong. I mean, really, there's 2 wires, actually 3. There we go. 'Cause I know me, there could be 1 wire and I'd hook it up wrong. I would hope not. I'm a little better than that. Okay, now let's get all these nuts and bolts, put them in the bin with the rest of the nuts and bolts I've taken off of this. And when I say put them in the bin, I mean the seat. Now, since this has got to be rebuilt, we don't have much to lose. Let's see if we can get it to turn over. I got 2 of these starter buttons. This one I bought off of the Snap-on truck a long time ago, and it's been old faithful. Shield's starting to get a little age to it, but still works. But I watch a lot of them, and I mean a lot. I think I've watched all of Vice Grip Garage's videos, some of them 2, 3, or 4 times, maybe more if it's something I really like. And he has the Lone Wolf 1000 starter button that he got at O'Reilly's. I even went and bought one. And it's been a good one. As a backup. Oh yeah, she's locked up. I mean, tight. Yeah, that looks bad back there. That dude hadn't turned over in a while. He may not even be able to rebuild this one. If he does, it's probably going to cost a small fortune. Let's spray some goop in there. That thing is really rusty down in there. Nope. Okay. There's that. There's the starter. It's like the little smaller version of the Model A starter. It's got all kinds of springs on it though. Got that one, that big one. So I guess Monday I'm going to be taking these off to get them rebuilt. That goes with the generator. Okay. He can figure all that out. Okay. All right. Now we're going to call it. So, in conclusion for today, we got the cap off, saw how good or bad that was. That's tolerable. Engine still turns over a lot better now. I can even turn it over by hand until I hit the compression stroke. So we got the starter out. It needs to be rebuilt. Got the generator off. It definitely needs to be rebuilt. I don't know about the radiator yet until we get some coolant in it, and I really don't want to do that until, I don't know why. I guess I could do, ooh, I got a freeze plug almost pushed out there. Please don't be cracked nowhere, please. We're not even going to touch that with nothing. I don't think there was a drain for the coolant. I like how there's two oil plugs, like one 6 inches away from the other. Okay, I don't see a drain on the block for the coolant. There's probably one on the radiator, but I'm not sure where that would be. And I may build a hand crank just so I can turn this thing over by hand faster. Especially if I can get spark. I want to try to make a tool to grab this too and pull that out and that out, straighten it out a little better than it is. And then mainly this thing just needs pressure washing. I'm more than likely not painting it. I want to keep it as much original as possible, like this. I want to get this switch working, the starter button. Not sure what that is. Oh, that's a fuse, okay. This went to a rear light, which I'm assuming mounted here. And that was a grommet for the wire. But I do want to try to turn that PTO over. Can y'all see it? We'll do that and then we'll call it the end of the video. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Memory card ran out. That's where I need to get a bigger card. Anyways, what I was saying, when the memory card ran out, I was going to try to turn one or the two of these over, and they're locked up tight. I'm sure this whole rear end is plumb full of rust. I can't get the shifter to move at all, which part of the problem is it's got a ton of play. You can see the hole's walled out. That's a Texas term, walled, where it has a lot of play. It shouldn't have that much play. It should go in and out, forward and backward, but what it's letting it do is letting it twist instead of just moving straight forward and straight back. That could be fixed with putting some washers in here to shim it up, make it stay straight up and down, but it's got to be enough to let it move left and right to do the other gears. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around with it, but I got to get this inspection cover off. There's an inspection cover underneath for the PTO. I'm gonna get it off. The PTO lever it wiggles the shaft and all moves a little, Oh, wait a minute, that goes in and out. There's a detent right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. But why would they make the... I don't know, that's weird. Yeah, it's... I'm sure the little detent balls in there are rusted and won't move. But either way, I got to get all this stuff freed up. I don't know if the transmission, I know right now it's in neutral. I can pretty much roll the tractor by hand real easy. So luckily it is stuck in neutral. Unluckily, it may never go in gear again. Not without taking all this apart and the final drives and get everything, all the rust sanded off of everything and put it back together. And looking at the frame, this would be a cool little small block Chevy swap. Nah, not really. It would be cool, but I ain't doing that. Neat little footrest. I just love looking at this little tractor. I don't know if the clutch is actually doing anything. If it's got a lot of play before. Feels like that's actually moving the throwout bearing. So 1.5 inches. Actually, got about 2 or 3 inches of travel before it moves the throwout bearing, if that's even what it's doing. Brakes, they're moving, and I can hear something in the cover clicking, so I'm assuming they're going to work. So we can see real quick. Nope, they do absolutely nothing. Not surprised. I need to try to get that bent back without breaking it, which should be okay. I can probably just get the skid steer over here up high and get a chain and a come along and just ease it back out where it needs to be as close as I can get it. That little bushing in there is gone, but that's not that big a deal because chances are I'll never get this. If I get this off, I'll probably never get that off. And it's got a keyway. I might could get it off, or I could drive that bushing out and make another one and take that little bit of slop out, which it's not that big a deal. Box down here where it goes in is fairly tight. I still got to grease it because I bet it's bone dry. But anyhow, with that being said, this time for sure we're calling it quits for the day. I gotta go in. I don't want to get in trouble with the old lady. There she is looking out the back window. Great. I wonder how mad she get if I just turn around and walk back out into the field. She always knows when I'm walking out into the field I'm tinkering with something. Hey baby. Okay. I'm gonna go in and eat supper and start uploading this video, or editing it and then uploading it. I'll see you guys later. And by the way, like, subscribe, leave comments. Please leave comments so I know y'all are watching. And if you hadn't already, please subscribe. There'll be plenty more where this came from. Later.